Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Anthony.
Hi, I'm Crystal.
Yeah, and today we are talking about
3 things we plan to do differently in 2026.
absolutely, and it's hard to believe we're almost done with this year. It seems to flow by, but hey, we are super pumped about 2026, and hope you are as well. And so we got these 3 things and want to share with you. So you ready to do this?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's hit it. Welcome back, everybody, and once again, welcome to this episode of the On Mission Podcast. Like we said, we're talking about 3 things that we are doing differently in 2026. And now this is probably going to be a little bit different, probably not like 3 things that you would expect to hear, maybe? What do you think?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, and so let's dive into these without any further ado. So what's the first one?
All right, so protecting our rhythms.
Protecting our rhythms. Now, what does that really mean for us?
What do you think that means?
Oh, I'm going to put it back on me. Here we go. No, so it is, for us anyways, 2025 has been a very defining moment and kind of, I say a defining year of just figuring out, establishing our rhythms in our life, in our family, in our personal life, in our family life, in our marriage, and even in our professional life. And so, and we've talked about those on other podcasts, but just like, okay, having routines of different things that we do on a daily basis, whether that's, meditation and gratitude, journaling, whatever those type of things. Mm-hmm. Then having our family rhythms, and it's allowing our days, to be shaped by those various rhythms that we are doing. So,
so allowing our values to shape us more than our days.
Yes.
Being super focused on why we're here, right, and what we're called to, and those rhythms supporting those beliefs about us.
Yeah. Here's the thing, folks, that it's easy, I think, to this time of year, especially January 1st, everybody's going to be making their goals. And but yet, I heard the statement that said it this way, that you don't set goals for the next year. So in this case, don't set goals for 2026, set systems. In our case, we call them rhythms, and protect them, because if you know who you are, where you want to be, you're going to have some rhythms. You're going to have routines. You're going to have some daily habits, whatever you want to label it, you're going to have to protect to help you to get where you want to be. And so,
and those consistent rhythms done daily are more impactful than a big goal without any consistent habits or rhythms, right?
Yeah, exactly. Who was is it Maxwell that says consistency compounds?
Yeah. And
I saw this visual the other day, and we think of, here I have my coffee cup. We think of consistency as like to say that we had like 7 of these up here, and it's just the same amount of liquid in this cup all the way across. That's consistency. Okay. But in reality, and that was saying, is like consistency may be like a drop in this cup, and this cup may be like 3/4 full. This one's like halfway. It's the fact that you're doing it each and every day.
Yeah.
And that's what consistency is, rather than having this, it's the same every day, but it's like, I may stunk some days, but I still did it.
Yeah. So like an example, working out, right? One day you may have the energy, the time, the bandwidth to really do a hardcore great workout. But then the next day, rather than, if you don't feel like it, lower energy, whatever you have going on that day that's a barrier, still show up. Even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, because you are reminding yourself that you are consistent.
Yeah. Well, James Clear talks about this, is that you don't fall to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. We've already mentioned that statement before. I think it was something like that. And I remember, I think I heard him speak this at a conference one time, in that exact thing of, you may not be able to get a full workout in a day, but fall down before you get in bed and do like 5 push-ups and say, hey, at least I did something,
Yeah, you're still showing up
and
consistently.
what it's doing to your brain as
Hmm.
well as like, hey, I am I am doing this. I am
And
trying.
not speaking over yourself, I'm a failure for not getting a full workout in.
Mm-hmm.
No, I made progress today.
Mm-hmm.
I was consistent today. And your brain is hearing that. That
Exa-
belief, you're speaking over yourself.
yeah, very true. And so, we're not we're not going for perfect days, we're going for better days, and if you're
Yeah.
going to have a better year, for us, we're like, if we're going to have a better year, then we have to have better days. And I believe that consistency is simply this, is that I want to be better, today than I was yesterday.
Hmm.
And when you allow that to happen for 365 days, man, you're
Whoa.
going to be a different person,
Hmm.
by the end of the year, just simply because I want to be better today than I was yesterday.
Hmm.
And so, this very first thing, what we're trying to do in 2026 and challenge, hey, everyone listening or watching, is, hey, protect your rhythms. Define them first, obviously, get them written down, but then, hey, protect them.
Hmm.
And I'll see where you end up by the end of the year. And I think, this is one thing we even worked out this year, is doing periodic check-ins of defining those rhythms. Like, is
Hmm.
this really working? Think rhythms change according to what season of life you're in.
Hmm.
If you have no kids, it's a very different rhythm. If you
Hmm.
have kids, your
Hmm.
rhythms are going to be different. So,
So, what are the areas that we can remind ourselves in for somebody that feels very overwhelmed? Like rhythms feels like such a huge topic.
mhm.
What are the areas they could specifically break down, like their parenting, their marriage, or maybe it's relationships?
Mhm.
Speak to that. What are the categories you could build a new rhythm in and stay consistent with?
Well, if you're married, I think it's making sure you have a weekly check-in. Like we try to do it once a
Hmm.
week, a very specific time of, okay, this is our, maybe just our calendar. This is overlooking different things that we have coming up, so we're on the same page. It can be having that rhythm of, with your kids, spending a certain, hey, 10 minutes a day or 30 minutes,
Hmm.
whatever it may be, on the weekend with an individual kid, or different things like that. I think another one that is very good, or good rhythm, is called the Daily Five.
Hmm.
And you can come up with 5 things, non-negotiables, that you're going to do every day,
Hmm.
and protect that. And that can be as simple as, okay, I'm going to meditate every day. Whether you're a faith person or not, meditate on something. You
Hmm.
know, I'm going to read.
Hmm.
I'm going to move my body. I'm going to, whether that's going for a walk every day, it's lifting weights, it's throwing hay bales, whatever it may be. I'm going to move. I'm going to create.
Hmm.
Every day. I'm going to add value to the world, and then maybe I want to learn something new every day, and have. It doesn't have to be those, but just a daily 5 for somebody, that these are the non-negotiables every day that I'm going to do.
Hmm.
And hey, if you want to have a more voice in the world, just like, all right, I'm going to post every day on social media.
Hmm.
I'm going to show up, even though I may stink at it. I'm going to show up every day, and because repetitions help you get better.
Hmm.
You know, does that answer your question?
Yeah. So the other ditch we can fall into with that is trying to change everything at once,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
So, like, if we try to do 100 rhythms at one time, 50 rhythms at one time, even, like, what's the number that you're actually going to follow through on,
Mm.
and follow through on those maybe 5
Mhm.
or 10 or whatever that number might be for you?
Yeah, I think it comes back to knowing, okay, by the end of this year, where do I want to be?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's not having a rhythm for the sake of having a rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
It's having the rhythms, that in habits, that are going to help me achieve where I want to be by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is very key. It may only be 3,
Yeah.
but for me, like a daily 5, that's one rhythm,
Mm-hmm.
for me,
Yeah.
but yet not 5. But so there's just those different things. I think is
Mm-hmm.
knowing where you want to be,
Yeah.
and then reverse engineer it and say, this is what I need to do. So,
So does that go into our next point
mm,
of being clear? Like, because we're talking, the next point we were going to talk about is leadership or leading with clarity. So
not
if you're
pressure.
not clear, you don't know what rhythms to practice.
Exactly. I think that's safe to say that. And I think we have a clarity problem in our world more than we ever realized.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy to go about doing things, and you don't know why you're doing them because you're not clear on them. So you can mistake motion. Like, I'm moving, I'm doing a lot of stuff, as momentum, when reality, you're just spinning your wheels. You're just
Hmm.
going through the motions, you know?
So you need to know why first.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, that's my favorite question, right?
Simon Sinek says start with why for a reason, right?
Yeah. And I think it's very important, and it's so simple, it's complex.
It is complex sometimes.
It's so
For the
simple.
overthinker, it
Yeah.
can be.
But yet asking, okay, why am I doing what am I doing?
Hmm.
And I think that's been a lot of our question we've asked ourselves this year, which has led, okay, we've got to lead from this place of clarity, not from the pressure of those outside of
Hmm.
sources and forces. And I believe leading, when you know that you are clear where you want to be at your life, and you're not leading from pressure, that's a force multiplier that is just going to, who knows what's going to happen in your life. I just think it's exciting to see and anticipate what that will bring.
So, what does living with clarity really mean?
You ready for this? Huh? Are you ready for this? Can you handle this?
Yeah, go.
Living with clarity. We're talking about in our individual lives. Let me get clear on that. What do we? Which domain?
Oh, yeah, there's lots of domains. So,
Talking
what,
personal or professional?
maybe both, because we may have both listeners
All
here.
right. You can't. It's hard to bring clarity in your professional life if you are not clear in your personal life. So let's start with our personal life. So
Hmm.
living with clarity is just knowing that I'm working in my zone of genius. We're reading a book right now. What's it called?
Oh, the big leap.
The Big Leap. I couldn't remember the
Yeah.
thing. I just remember talking about, we have four zones: incompetence, competence, excellence, and genius.
Yeah.
And in trying to live in that zone of genius, it's easy to settle for excellence.
Hmm.
Like, oh, I'm good at this and all that, but I'm not living in the zone of genius of, man, I'm bringing the most value to the world. I'm making the impact that I've been placed on this earth for.
Hmm.
Ed Milet says, I believe you are created to do something great. He
Hmm.
believes everybody is. And that fires me up and encourages me that because I do believe that you have natural gifts and abilities to bring to this earth and to those around you. Getting clear on what that is
Hmm.
and honing in on that is going to bring you that clarity. And then what happens, you don't feel the pressure, you actually feel the pull, because pressure is what pushes us. Like when somebody's trying to force you to do something, like, you really ought to buy this, you really need to come with
Or you're
us.
good at this, so you should do it.
Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, I'm good at it, but I'm not great at it. You may be thinking that and
Yeah.
living in that tension. But when you truly get clear and have clarity, it's like it's a magnet. It's just going to not repel you. It's going to pull you. And like, man,
Hmm.
I
You
got,
can't help but do it.
yeah, I want to do it. And you're going to, I think that's why, those entrepreneurs will take that risk and just go all in on something. Why? Because they're clear on what they want.
Hmm.
And so it's being clear personally, knowing why I'm here. This is what I can offer to the world. And that's going to probably show up in your professional life as well.
Hmm.
Does that answer your question?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. You good?
Yeah.
You good? All right. All right. So, I think that's the biggest thing is when you have clarity as well, you don't feel guilty in saying no to things.
Hmm. Yeah, so it helps reduce decision fatigue.
Which you love, right?
Yeah.
Reduce the decision fatigue. Yeah, it's so. I mean, it's as simple as this. Think about this. If you don't know what to wear tomorrow when you get up,
Hmm.
just set your clothes out the night before.
Hmm.
That's what clarity does. I get up in the morning. Oh, I don't have to worry about what I've already clear on it.
Made the decision. Yeah.
And you take that's a very probably minute thing to use, but yet you
Hmm.
apply that to everything else, and you're on the road to clarity.
Hmm. So, from a perspective of moms, because we may have some mom listeners, um, what's a way they can get clarity in their home?
I think you can speak to that more than me.
But I was thinking about that. Like, you definitely are speaking to the leader, the
Yeah.
professional, because that's more your arena. But as a mom who used to be in the workplace, my workplace is now the home, but thinking about what do I want the atmosphere of our home to feel like? What do I desire for our kids and for you to feel in our home? And I think we are the CEO of the atmosphere of our home.
Mm-hmm.
And so getting clear on what can that look like in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
As a mom, you are a leader.
Mm-hmm.
So how can I show up as a better leader
Mm-hmm.
and build an atmosphere for our home?
All right. So the recap. What was our first one we've talked about here?
So we're protecting our rhythms,
Protecting our rhythms and
leading with clarity,
leading with clarity. And our final one.
measuring success by fruit, not output.
Yeah, this is a good one. And we've talked a little bit about this, I think. It's so easy to be busy, but not be fruitful and to actually have something to show for it. I think it's where we're kind of coming from. And so, it's easy to live with, I think I've heard the term one time, blind optimism.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's going to work this time. Yeah. And not looking at the bigger picture. And I think for us, it's kind of stepping back and looking at a macro level view of our lives. And that's what this kind of means. And that can be difficult, I understand, for some people, but think of it as in the airplane. If you're only seeing life like you're living on the tarmac, you're not seeing very much. Or maybe you're on the runway, you just haven't taken off. But once you climb and get some altitude in your life and look at it, then I think that's where this is really coming from. It's defining success not for just this moment, but also the long-term success. And so
as a leadership coach, what can that look like in the workplace for people, making sure they're not measuring success by the output, but by the fruit they're producing?
comes back to clarity of, I think, is depending on the type of business, you don't have very much time to where you have to pivot to something else. So if you have a very toxic person on your team, for instance, it's easy to make excuses. Oh, they're going to change this week, and it's like, no, so you're going to have to make the hard decisions, and that may be difficult in this moment, but it's because you're seeing it from a macro level view of down the road. This is what's going to matter.
So not what feels good or productive in the moment, but what's having a more futuristic mindset.
Right. Well, and not every leader may have that. I understand that, but so it's as the leader is trying to either have those people around you that have the macro level view or seeing things. I think if you are the leader of your team or of your company, you're probably there because you are that futuristic, or you're seeing what's down the road. You're thinking in that realm naturally. But if not, then you have those around you that are helping you, and so it's different in the business world than say in the faith world. In the business world, I feel like you got to make decisions quickly, move fast, and sometimes in other environments.
And you do have to have output quickly in the business world, right?
Right. Yeah. Or you're not, or you're going to get left behind. So it's,
So could the fruit be potentially, like, if your employees or your team, however you want to say that, if they are happy with the work environment, if they are working within their genius, like we talked about earlier, could that be potentially some of the fruit that you would recognize?
Oh, and that's going to transfer over to other success as well. If your employees are happy and fulfilled, and they're hitting their goals, they have clear direction on what they are supposed to do and what their KPIs or whatever their goals that they have to hit, and they're doing that. I mean, there's a compound effect there, in your organization, no matter whether it's business or a nonprofit or whatever it may be. It's like, okay, there's going to be a natural flow. So, but let's bring it back into the family. Okay, for us, okay, when we think about success, I think it's easy to allow culture to define what success looks like
For the family.
And so this can be perhaps a little countercultural for some in some areas, but Because I think if you are following success by what culture says, that can be exhausting.
Oh yeah.
Like you can live in the rat race, you can live on the hamster wheel, like
Mm-hmm.
you're always just whatever, however, what is dictating your life.
Mm-hmm.
But
Or whatever you feel like is pleasing your kids.
mm,
So we're called to lead them,
hmm
not appease them.
yeah,
And so making decisions with that in mind. Like they may want to go do all these fun
mm,
things, but if you are clear on where you're headed as a family,
yeah,
you have to bring that back in sometimes and say, no, we're going to make the leadership call here and
hmm
we're going to say no to that. And
yeah,
here's why.
yeah. I think that's a great time to teach this whole idea of to your family is that we are a family team. We
Mm-hmm.
are a family unit. We are working together in
Mm-hmm.
this, and you're part of this, and this is where we're headed as a family. Just because you have all this vision and everything for your business, let's have it for your family too.
Mm-hmm.
We're obviously working on that. Here's our family goals for 2026. This is what we want to accomplish. This is what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
These three things are very important to how it's going to, what those things are going to do. We got to protect our rhythms. We got to have the clarity,
Mm-hmm.
and clear defined of what success looks like
Mm-hmm.
for us.
And always asking what kind of fruit are we producing?
Exactly. And that comes through, I think, these ideas of having the weekly check-in with your spouse. It's having the monthly recap. Okay, what did we do that well this month? What did we not? In
Mm-hmm.
personal and professional, marital, all those
Mm-hmm.
things. It's like I think it's hard for some maybe
Mm-hmm.
to want to do this analysis or whatever you want to call it. Like let's sit down and analyze where we were at the beginning of this time period and where are we now,
Mm-hmm.
and let's give honest feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And
And it may be uncomfortable.
maybe,
So like
but
you
it's
have
healthy.
yeah, you have to be willing to maybe heal some things in order to
Yeah,
dig into this a little bit.
yeah,
And with humility.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So to wrap up this thought, what it boils really down to is simply this: that this year isn't about more. It's just about living in that alignment, and that alignment is going to dictate that success and what it really means for us. And I think it can mean it for those who are listening here today. So.
Yeah, so as we wrap up, we have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What is something you might be doing differently so you can live clearer this year
Yes.
or next year in 2026?
Yeah, would love to hear that feedback and to join on that journey with you. And then if you would like to check out a resource to help 2026 to be your best year ever, there will be a link in the notes, and you can check that out to help you on your journey of growth and transformation. So just remember, as we approach the new year, wrapping up 2025 and sliding into 2026, that it's not about doing more, it's simply about living clearer.